Video games have been a part of my life for as long as I can remember. They've been my go-to pastime for ages, or have been the way I outlet my other interests at home, since Disney World isn't in my backyard.
Or is it?
However, a small few have easily been the most influential in making me who I am today. Here is the story of the most recent. The date is October 8th, 2017, and I'm currently popping off after achieving my under an hour run in New Super Mario Bros. U, my first ever speedrunning accomplishment. At this time, I was only a few runs into my speedrunning career, and I was using NSMBU as a tool to teach myself how running a game worked before the release of the new Mario game later that month. I wanted to get in early so I could spend a bunch of time at it and compete for world record from the start and hold it for years to come. Yeah, that didn't go well. As that fateful day 4 years ago approached, I still planned on holding out on the game until December. After the finale of it was spoiled by a YouTube thumbnail with the same elegance as my treatment of ARC results,
Goodbye, fool!
I decided to pick up my copy of the game day one, and I practically ran home and recorded a Let's Play of the game start to finish in a weekend. And I didn't like it. Compared to the Mario games I had played previously, Odyssey was different in ways I wasn't a fan of. Mario felt slippery and loose, making running in a straight line difficult and platforming imprecise. It felt sluggish and slow most of the time, which made significant amounts of the moons and worlds rather forgettable. I hated sub-areas, spending hundreds and hundreds of coins, struggling to reach the ends of them, etc, etc, etc. I really wanted to love it, but I didn't. Fresh off my mediocre first playthrough, I started finding the resources to learn the any percent speedrunning, go along with my plan. At this point, as you may have guessed, I was already extremely far behind, but whatever really. Turns out I really didn't pay attention because I never knew that you can dive off of Cappy, vault off of Cappy, throw Cappy with X or Y, throw Cappy after a wall jump, leave a kingdom without world peace, shake in like 20 different scenarios to go faster, deep woods in general, ground pound jump, dive, roll. Yeah, it turns out that reading the action guide would have been really helpful because this makes the game so much more fun! Mario 64's movement is incredibly simple, but the tools you have are so versatile that everything you do ends up feeling good. Sunshine's movement is a refined and tweaked Super Mario 64 moveset with some added flair, including the introduction of a 3D Mario staple, a gimmick to help you adjust jumps in midair, being Flood or the Spin. Where Odyssey deviates is by not just having a refined Super Mario 64-esque movement, it makes the midair gimmick, Cappy, a super insanely versatile tool. If I see a gap in my path, I have the option to jump, double jump, triple jump, backflip, side flip, ground pound jump, long jump, vault, and then from there, using Cappy to navigate through the air with the mobility he provides makes almost any task feel possible. That wealth of options you have at any time makes the raw movement in Odyssey feel so amazing. You're never just awkwardly running in a straight line, doing single jumps, you're rolling up to a place at crazy speeds, roll canceling into a double jump, finishing off with a dive straight back into those same rolls as before. And it feels amazing every single time. I fell in love with Odyssey almost immediately after learning how the movement worked, and from there, speedrunning it became my lifeblood. I spent a decent amount of time in almost every nook of the community that existed, trying my hands at task, bingo, and trick jumping, running almost every main board category. Nah, I'm good. And most of the category extensions that ever existed, including having the honor of the worst one ever made. I'd like to think that I had a pretty good taste of all of the community's offerings. Now here's a directed apology to the TAS, low percent BTT, and modding communities who I never interacted with except on very small occasions for being completely absent from my experience and for never speaking about them again for the rest of this video. For the time I was deep into it, the Odyssey community was a fantastic experience. I still forever remember the day Fish Clip was discovered and the Discord was bouncing off the walls with excitement. It was a magical day and one that I'll probably never see again. The Odyssey community led to many great friendships and even more fun memories. The time I spent there is the time where I learned a lot about myself, and it was frequently my light in the darkness. I'm still not sure where I'd be without it.
Oh no!
I've grown apart from the Odyssey community and speedrunning in general. It's become less fun for me over time, and my priorities have shifted to literally this. Odyssey was meant to be a massive Let's Play on this YouTube channel, but it ended up killing that era of my content creation. And the end of the story of Odyssey on this channel will end up being the start of the next. I'll look back on the time I spent with Odyssey fondly. Through good times and bad, my mistakes and my successes, I think I made an overall positive impact while I was there. While deep down I know I'll never truly be able to give it up forever, hell, I'll always remember the any % route like the back of my hand. And while I may still be somewhat disappointed in the potential I left on the table, I've learned to look back on how good I got and how far I was able to go. For all the times that we've said,
Fuck this game!
we'll always hold it dear. But after 4 years, I think it's time that I say goodbye. After beating Bowser and escaping Moon Kingdom, the game hints at you that you'll unlock something at 250 moons. After finally acquiring all of them and conquering the dark side of the moon, you're told that if you can collect 500, you'll get something more. Reaching the darker side grants you the hardest challenge you'll face in Odyssey, the massive gauntlet of challenges the caves of the moon provide, forcing you to utilize everything you've learned about all of the game's various captures and mechanics. After countless deaths and what feels like an infinitely growing amount of challenges and roadblocks, the Bowser painting finally leads you to your last hurdle. We've come a long way, you and me. We've seen a bunch of different kingdoms. I mean, sure, we got shot down and stuff along the way. But think of all the hats! This trip really was amazing. Thank you, Cappy. It's been an honor running 1,000 miles with you on my head. Happy birthday, Super Mario Odyssey.